I don't know for sure what was going on with what cameras caught Brittney Griner saying on the bench after she had fouled out against Caitlin Clark's Fever in Atlanta. I waited to comment on this until the WNBA was able to investigate it. I wanted them to issue a statement about it, but we have heard nothing from the WNBA, absolutely nothing. And Brittney Griner has not commented, which...
This just drop a sports take so explosive, it's like detonating a nuke inside a teacup. Brittney Griner still staggering from that Caitlin Clark collision and Skip. He stormed in like a wrecking ball dressed in high-end outrage. Was he calling her out, or campaigning to become the WNBA's top-tier drama king? Either way, it's popcorn-worthy. This saga's burning hotter than a courtside tantrum and messier than a 2 a.m. Twitter feud. Buckle up. This isn't just drama, it's playoff-level chaos.
Asking, because Skip's like the rest of us. He believes Brittney Griner said effing white girl. And now, he's asking the WNBA, are you going to really ignore this? And if it was the other way around, what would you be doing right now? This is a very high-profile name, now putting some actual heat.
It was supposed to be just another game, some layups, a little zone defense, and a few awkward post-game cliches about teamwork. Business as usual. But then Brittney Griner hit the court with all the finesse of a wrecking ball on a Red Bull binge. And in a blink, Caitlin Clark went from breakout rookie to unwilling crash test dummy. Somewhere amid the carnage, the basketball quietly filed for witness protection.
That would be an immediate suspension, if not, Skip Bayless says, a career-ending statement for the white girl. Can you imagine? Now, seriously, can you imagine? Now, remember, before we move on to the audio and everything else, remember, the WNBA has come out numerous times. There's no place for hate. There's no place for racism in our league. Oh, what? It went from she didn't say that to, well, it's not racist, to who cares? All without an investigation. And all of us here in Indy were saying, wait, we get painted as racist by this psychopath, Angel Reese, damn near every time her and her psychotic teammates come to town. And then we got to hear, oh, we want a safe place. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what? Brittney Griner, effing white girl, is racist as hell. Why's it got to be about white? How many times have you heard that the other way? Why's it got to be about black people? Why's it got to be about white girl if you have no racist bones in your body?
Normally, when someone gets steamrolled like that, the media hits the collective mute button faster than a PR intern scrubbing old tweets. But not this time. Oh no. Enter Skip, America's favorite professional pot stirrer, armed with a thesaurus full of side eyes and a mic hot enough to weld steel. While the WNBA tried to play it off as just another bump in the paint, Skip stared at the footage like he'd unearthed the Zapruder film of women's hoops. Suddenly, it wasn't a highlight, it was a courtroom drama. Griner in the defendant's seat, Clark caught somewhere between innocent bystander and Exhibit A.
I've watched that video countless times, and it sure looks like Brittney Griner says, fucking white girl. Now, I think it was my old friend Jamel Hill, used to work with her at ESPN. I believe Jamel said Griner actually said fucking whack call, and that could be the case. I'm not a lip reader. But it sure looks to me like the last word is girl, not call. Tell me I'm wrong. So Griner didn't commit her sixth foul on Caitlin Clark. It was actually on Natasha.
But let's rewind. That defensive play, was the kind of impact that makes even NFL linebackers reconsider their career choices. Griner launched herself like Caitlin was a fly that owed her rent, and poor Clark, bless her fundamentals first heart, absorbed it like a rookie trying to pretend it wasn't the most traumatic moment since Iowa's Mystery Meat Mondays. And just like that, the WNBA had its headline, Twitter had its trending war zone, and Skip had his next monologue locked, loaded, and ready before you could say ratings spike.
The fact that she fouled out of the game and proceeded to get caught mouthing effing white girl. and the world all saw it. Now, some people tried to claim that it was effing whack call. I'm sorry, I don't see that in the video at all. And of course, that happened all at the same time. And oddly enough, even though the video caught fire when Riley Gaines shared the video of Brittney Griner mouthing those words after getting fouled out.
Skip doesn't just comment on basketball. He turns it into performance art. So when he saw Griner's flying body check, he didn't just see a foul. He saw a statement, a spectacle, a league contradiction wrapped in drama. No stats needed. Just that slow-motion shot of Clark getting flattened like a creep on hot pavement. Suddenly, Griner wasn't just a player. She was a headline, a symbol of what happens when a league gets too caught up in optics and forgets about sportsmanship. Of course, the defenders rushed in, journalists gasping, ex-players shrugging, bloggers typing like their internships depended on it. She's a veteran, just playing hard. Sure, and King Kong was just climbing for the view. Griner didn't play hard. She played like she had a score to settle, and maybe a coupon for body slams.
Appearing, in my opinion, to say white girls. So we asked the WNBA, are you investigating Brittney Griner? We've asked the Atlanta Dream, what did Brittney Griner say? We've asked Brittney Griner's representatives, what did you say here? She's made zero comment. As a sports media company, we decided, okay, we'll go to the games and we'll ask Brittney Griner directly. And we requested credential for a game on the West Coast. No. And we requested a credential now for a game on the East Coast. No. This is a top-down decision. The WNBA has decided they're not going to credential Outkick because we are being too critical of their athletes, of their coaches, and of the league itself. We have ripped NFL players and teams.
That's where Skip stepped in, cutting through the noise with surgical precision. He didn't just question Griner's play. He suggested she'd been skating on reputation, not performance. And Caitlin Clark? The WNBA's golden ticket. The ratings draw, the rookie phenom. She took the hit, didn't complain, didn't pout. Just got up, dusted off, and maybe started wondering which European league doesn't treat basketball like Mortal Kombat. Because this wasn't just a foul. It was a message. A not-so-subtle welcome from the vets. We see your fans and endorsements. Here's a forearm for your highlight reel. The WNBA stayed quiet. But Skip, he turned up the volume. If this was just competition, he called it what it really looked like, sabotage.
Respectfully, Brittney Griner was in a Russian prison. You would think that somebody who is now free, back in America on home soil, would not have too much to complain about. Especially something like this. Fans in every sport. She described the...
Skip brought his version of receipts, not stats, but narrative threads. He started connecting dots the lead didn't want connected. Griner's return from Russia treated like a royal comeback, her seeming immunity from criticism ever since. To him, Griner isn't just a player. She's a protected brand. And anyone who questions that gets labeled everything from misogynist to unpatriotic. But Skip came in swinging, blunt as ever. His message? If the WNBA wants to grow, it can't protect bad behavior just because someone's a veteran with a backstory. Then there's Clark. Not just a rookie. She's a ratings magnet, a rebrand in motion. But when that spotlight shifts away from the vets, suddenly it's time to send a message. Funny how that works. Griner? She brushed it off. No apology, no comment. Just that look that says, I've seen worse. And she has.
It is completely possible that fucking white girl was about Caitlin Clark's popularity, about her stature, about her impact on the entire league. It's very possible that Brittney Griner was blaming Caitlin Clark in the big picture for her fouling out, blaming referees in general for overprotecting the Fever because the league wants the Fever to win and the fucking white girl to be MVP because the fucking white girl sells tickets and detonates.
Skip didn't just call out Griner. He called out the idea that the WNBA can grow while eating its own stars. He pointed to the real issue. Not talent, not marketing, but the league's refusal to check bad behavior when it comes from familiar faces. And just like that, the excuses poured in. Griner's fans rushed to defend her. It was momentum. Clark flopped. Sure. And Santa refs Tuesdays. But that play was ugly. Intentional or not, it deserved accountability. When none came, Skip brought it himself. The guy known for nitpicking LeBron finally had a point. Loud, dramatic, but real. Griner crossed a line. The league looked away. And Skip? He turned up the heat, refusing to let it fade quietly behind polite claps and post-game quotes.
Did you catch that? Brittney Griner calling Caitlin Clark trash and an effing white girl doing a game? Now, imagine if the roles were reversed. If Caitlin had called Griner trash and followed it with effing black girl. The outrage will be instant. Headlines, public backlash, suspensions, and major sponsors pulling out. But because it was said to a white athlete, many are brushing it off or even laughing. That's a